On today's vlog, we make an absolutely monumental decision for the future of our business. We make a decision whether we're going to take investment or not.
This is Leicester Square in the morning on Monday and it is dead.
Hey, what's up?
Yo!
Hey,
Morning guys. I am officially a Dishoom virgin. A virgin. Yeah, a virgin.
Yeah. And we all, three bacon rolls.
Is that the only ingredient one bacon and egg?
Yeah.
Oh man.
beautiful. What do you think of that?
I need to start eating it immediately. This is amazing.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, boys.
Absolutely.
Okay, you do spoil us. This is your official debut, by the way.
This is it. This is the official debut.
Awesometrip.com.
Oh, nice, nice. Hello.
So today, we've got quite a big topic to talk about. We have some really, really big decisions to make in our business. These decisions together will shape the future of our business. And I think it's both exciting, scary, but something we have to do.
So for some context, last week you saw us pitching quite a lot. This week we've got to figure out what we're doing in terms of the results of those pitches. We essentially have an option where we take on some money and we go really big, or we've got the option of we go really, really lean and we bootstrap and give away none of our business and get it built ourselves. Two very different options, both have a lot of pros and cons, but ultimately we have to decide.
Absolutely. But, kind of on one side, it's really refreshing and you know, startups are hard.
Yep.
We've done a couple, we failed a couple of times. It's nice to know that there are people out there not connected to our business that have gone, you know what, we believe in what you're doing. We actually buy into your journey and we want to put our own hard-earned cash into you. And so there's something to be said that regardless of whatever decision we make, never take investment for granted and be really, really grateful that someone else has gone, I believe in you guys. So I just kind of wanted to mention that no matter how big the amount is, whatever decision we make, someone has said they believe in what we're doing, and I think it's worth taking a moment to kind of really appreciate that. I mean, so Mark and I have really been practicing lean for a long time now. We're big fans of it. I think it's a really important thing to do, and bootstrapping is a really fundamental part of being part of a startup. So we have a decision to make.
So one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about decision making and give you a tangible lesson to take away today is that ultimately there is a point where if you are just not making the decision, you are just slowing down the growth of your business, or indeed whatever it is that you are pursuing and need to make a decision on. When the decision is made, we are in a position whereby either we've done the right thing or we've done the wrong thing, but what matters is that Mesh and I are then focused on delivering that one thing, right? We know what our variables are, we know what cash we have to play with, we know exactly what we're building by and when, and what our time frames are, right? So this decision is incredibly important to move us on. Let me tell you a story that I once heard about decision making. A famous US general who was trying to figure out what to do about a conflict that you may well know, we don't need to go into the details, and this is in the US Army. They obviously have incredibly intelligent analysts, field agents, and information coming in from satellites and all over the world, and all types of credible and less credible sources. The decision was entirely split between two courses of action, and everyone was fighting over what was the best thing to do, and their resources were totally pooled on this, and people didn't know how to progress. A new general came into this environment where this decision had been trying to be made for a long period of time. He comes in, he gets the reports from both of them, and he makes his decision very, very quickly. And I heard this from Tony Robbins. He had the privilege of coaching this general and being there in the room. This general makes the decision, and he asks, so how did you make, or Tony Robbins asks, how did you make this decision? Why option A over option B? And the general's response was, look, Tony, this has been a problem in the US military and in global geopolitics for a long time. Nothing's been done. No one's making any change. No one's making any progress. I don't know, ultimately, which one is the best course of action. But what I do know is that if we pursue one of these paths with the utmost integrity, and I now have my entire team working to make option A a success, rather than half my team talking about option A, half my team talking about option B, then we're going to make progress. And if it is the wrong decision, I will have to stand by that, I will have to live by that, but my God, I will do everything in my abilities and powers to make it work.
Super interesting.
For sure.
And then, so, kind of taking that story, for us, I think the takeaway there and the lesson that we should take forward is, whatever decision we make, we got to back ourselves. We got to do everything we can to make it work. And this business of FOMO, fear of missing out, worrying about whether we made the right call or not, we should just completely ignore.
Yeah.
Just focus on the task at hand. To use military speak, focus on the mission.
Yeah, for real. We need to make this decision, which we're realistically making right now. I think Mesh and I have 90% now made the decision. We have to literally press send on an email, and then the decision is done. We can't go back on it. The investors that we are speaking to will know that we're going to pass.
Startups are terrifying. They're nerve-wracking. They're bloody exciting, and they are huge learning curves. And we are learning every day, and I'm super excited.
For sure. Right. Let's wrap up. There's two things we need to do. One is send the email, and two is I want to give you 3 really clear takeaways from this.
Tip number 1 is know the difference between an incredible opportunity and a good opportunity. It's not as clear cut. There are so many variances and nuances, but understand this may not actually be the best deal for you.
Could be the right deal at the wrong time, for instance, and it could also be a great deal for one half of the group doing the deal rather than all parties, which therefore makes it not a great deal. Number 2, short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. Where you can, always go long, always play the long game. You're going to have much greater rewards. By and large, especially when you're really young, you have time to play around and to make mistakes and to ultimately grow. Only take the short-term thinking if it is a case of your survival is depending on it. We are not in that position, so we are not incentivized by a short-term deal.
Tip number 3, just make a decision. Commit to a decision either way, and most importantly of all, stand by it. Back yourself, back your team that you've made the right decision, and go hell for leather in that direction. If you do that, you'll be fine.
To quote a wise man, make the boat go faster.
Great quote.
Right, with that, there's one more thing for us to do, and that's to send this email. So, we're essentially going to turn down this investment. We're going to turn down an attractive opportunity, but we are going to go hell for leather, bootstrapping a bit longer to get to a bigger and a much more effective and a sexier long-term goal that we are really committed to.
We're doing what's right for us at this moment in time, but also what's going to be right for us in 6, 8, 10 months' time as well.
And also what's right for our users, right? We think this is the best way of building our business for you guys.
Let's do it.
No regrets. Email sent.